Hi guys, what I want to do very briefly is show you how to automate a database. And this is really our last topic in Access. This is an example I've showed you for the last couple of days. And what we want to do today is figure out how to, when you press these buttons, have it activate something like another form. Or when you press this, have it activate something like a screen like this. Okay, so that's our objective today, and what we're probably going to do is show you a simpler example first. So we'll go back to this one that we did in class the day before. This is the one where we picked the three tables. We connected them together, and then we did a number of things to them, like we did a query. We made a form. I think it's something like the one we did. Remember, we had the combo box for that, and we did a combo box for that. Okay, and then we also made a report or two. And what we want to do now is create a form that's like our control center, which will have buttons on it, which will go to any of these things, and that's where the automation comes in. So when you create a blank form, you press New. You don't press the wizard, and you don't pick anything either. You don't pick any of these things. You just pick nothing, and then you press OK. And what happens is a blank screen appears. Okay, so we create our basic form, how you want it to look, and then we're going to add a couple of buttons. Now these buttons are going to be stupid right now. They don't really do anything, but in a few seconds they will have some intelligence. What we'll do right now, just to set them up, is we'll right click and we'll click on Format, and where it says Caption, what we'll do is we'll write down the first one, which is really like the items. We're going to call it the items form. We're going to have it access the items form. And the second one, we're going to do a report. Okay, so we'll call this the report. Now these buttons don't do anything yet, and that's where we're going to do the next part. We're going to now program them. Now this is the first time we've done this. This is a little bit like Word macros, where you had yourself record a bunch of steps, and when you wanted to play them back, it would. Now I've pre-done some of this. What you do when you make these macros is you press New. Right, and it makes this screen. Then you press this XY, and it makes a second screen. And it has this thing called macro name and action. So let's make our first macro, which we're going to call the item form macro. And we're going to make the particular form up here that has that nice little screen design. So what we're going to do is we're going to have it open the form. So that's all you do. You don't really computer program. You just tell the computer from a list what to do. Then you go down here, and there's only one form to pick. Sometimes it's going to be 3 or 4. And the last thing you usually do is you press what you want to do with it, and usually you press Edit. The second thing is going to be our report, and that one, you don't open a form, but you open a, where is it, report. Okay, and then down here you write down what report you want. See, this one we have 2 of them. I'm going to pick this one. And I don't want to print it, that wastes paper. I'm going to do a print preview. And you've made your macros. Now you save them, and I'm going to call them the main buttons, and I'm going to save. Okay. Now we go back to our basic form, which is right here, and these are stupid buttons, but now we're going to give them some intelligence. So I'm going to right-click on this one and go to Properties, and now there's a thing in computer programming called events, and there's all kinds of things that happen when you do things like, well, I want to click on it, right? Not double click, just regular click. And when I click on it, I'm going to have it pick one of these things, what we call the main buttons. And there it is right there, the one that I want, main buttons item form. That's it. That's all you do, and you've computer programmed that button. I'll prove it to you in a sec. Second one, click on Properties, on Click, pick main button report, and that one's done. Okay, and let's see if it works. So you press this, and you press it, and ta-da, it pops up. Press this one, and in a second, it's going to make it like a form, but it's a report, so it looks like it's a sheet of paper pop up. And that's how you do macros. Now, very quickly, if you don't like the look of this screen, like you don't want some of this stuff on here, you can go into the underground and change other properties. So if you click on here and then right-click, you can change some of the properties. You can have it have a certain view, single view. Do you want scroll bars? No, I don't want any scroll bars. And you can change a bunch of things. And then when you look back at it, it's got fewer things and it looks a little cleaner.